Here we go again. So, we are going to review the 1517 to Paris, the new Clint Eastwood film that was just released last week. This film is about three American tourists who stopped...
Well, no, yeah, I guess they were tourists at the time of the event, sorry. They're Americans in Europe.
In Europe, who in real life, is based on true events, who in real life stopped a terrorist attack on a train. In this film, the lead three are played by the real life guys that this happened to. Directed by Clint Eastwood, who has directed Best Picture winners. And for some reason, this is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not kidding. I am sugarcoating it as best as I possibly can. This movie's 90 minutes long, and maybe has 20 minutes of...
Not even.
15 maybe. We'll be generous and say 15 minutes of footage that would maybe actually be worthy of a feature film. And you can tell...
Not even.
Alright, I'm gonna take the chain off the dog here. Sick 'em boy. Let's hear him rant for a little bit here. Go ahead.
This is not an exaggeration, might be the single worst movie I've ever seen. The single worst. Clint Eastwood directed this.
That is shocking to me.
What?
Yeah.
I kid you not. In high school, I competed in a short film festival, like 4 years. There were better movies, not better made films in those than this is. This is one of the ugliest movies I've ever seen. The cinematography is pure garbage. It looks like crap.
You're not wrong.
For a movie based on a true story, like, not a single word, like, oh my god, the writing is so bad.
Yep.
It is so bad. Like, I don't think a single person has ever said any of those words in that sequence in the history of the world. Like, what? I feel bad in saying this because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
The three, they cannot act. They're so bad.
They're bad. I feel bad saying that.
I feel bad too because it's not their fault. But the people involved in this movie should have done a darn screen test and realized that they cannot act.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
But not only them, I am so embarrassed for Judy Greer and Jenna Fisher. They are mind-blowingly terrible in this.
Everybody's not good.
Mind-blowing. These are good actresses.
Oh, no. Everybody's not good.
That's how bad the script and the direction is. Like, I'm so embarrassed for Jenna Fisher. Like, her lines are so god-awfully terrible. Like, there's literally a conversation towards the beginning of the movie about ADD that I was like, oh, this is where this movie's going. The kids are horrible.
Like
they are
kids.
so
are not good either.
bad.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, did you notice the one kid was Julian from Wonder? Who plays Alec?
Okay.
And like he was good in that movie.
Yeah. All the kid actors in Wonder were all great. Yeah.
He's like probably the least bad. The kid who plays Spencer is so bad. So bad. I just keep saying about everything. So bad. This movie does not have a single redeemable factor. Like, and then when it finally gets to the hijacking. It wasn't a hijacking. It gets to it's over in like 30 seconds. It is so anticlimactic. It is so uneventful.
It's alright, so I will say that again, 90 minutes. This movie's 90 minutes. How it got to 90 minutes, I want to read the screenplay. It was probably written on a napkin.
Oh my god.
Of, kids stop, attack. That's probably what was all written on that napkin. That was the script for this film. Because you can just tell, like, they were like, asked the kids, like, oh, can you talk about your childhood? And then, like, wrote it down, and they're like, oh, where are we at? We're like, oh, we got like 45 minutes worth of footage here. Why don't we ask him about his military background? Here's another 15 or 20 minutes. How was your tourist trip like in Europe? And that was the last half hour.
And these characters are so boring. They're so boring. And the most egregious thing in this movie is that the three of these three guys have negative chemistry. Negative chemistry! You would not believe that they were best friends. It's like they've never met each other before in their life.
That's
No, it's so true though. It is so true.
There are a couple times where he's like
I cannot. Okay, yes, they're bad actors, but they at least should be having fun when they're together.
Yeah.
And it's just nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We'd have to act. We'd have to. I mean, we're obviously not good actors, but we'd have to purposely be different people somehow for us not to have any sort of brother to brother camaraderie. If we tried, we're not good actors, so if we tried to do that, we couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. But you would think that's how it would go with them. They're not good actors, but you think something that's so simple and so dude, you're my best friend. Of course we're gonna talk about girls like this. And even that, there's nothing there.
And I feel bad for the Spencer character because this movie makes him look like such an idiot. He literally fails at every single thing he tries to accomplish. It makes him look so dumb. It makes him look so stupid. And maybe it's supposed to be redeeming. He finally is able to use all the stuff he learned and failed at to save somebody. But it just makes him this big fat idiot. I do too, but
I feel bad talking about this movie.
I do too.
Because these guys are heroes. Absolutely. If they were not, if they were not on this train, possibly every single person on the train
because
might
no
have
one
died.
else steps up.
Yeah, but everyone else on that train might have died. So props to them. But that's what makes me feel bad.
Do you know what? No, I wouldn't feel as bad. I would not disparage this movie as much if the three of them had made it. But they didn't. This is made by supposedly competent people.
Yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
Clint Eastwood, as far as I'm concerned, is completely senile. He has 2 Best Director wins at the Academy Awards. He has made some incredible movies. It's like I said, it is worse than a student film. It is, oh my gosh, I don't.
It's alright, and some of the other things, so...
It's so ugly, and oh my god, sorry, I have to say this. Okay, the lighting is so ugly.
I've seen Darkest Hour just not long ago, that made it even worse.
I've seen some
lighting in
beautifully
Darkest
shot
Hour is
movies.
gorgeous.
Yeah. And it doesn't even go for the natural documentary look. You can tell they're trying to light this movie, and it just looks so bad. And wait. Okay, at the end of this movie, they show the actual footage of them winning their award, and it cuts. Wait, no. It's really really grainy, and the movie looks mildly better than this because when it cuts,
Oh my God.
It literally
speak words.
It literally shows the news coverage, the news conference of them winning their awards in France, and then it cuts to the audience, and it's freaking Jenna Fisher and Judy Greer standing there as their moms. It's so stupid, and there's a distinct difference in the graininess and the lighting that it's so obvious, and I'm if you're gonna show the footage of them winning these awards, just show it. Just show it.
I didn't understand
that. Why do Judy Greer and Jenna Fisher have to be there?
It's the real guys. You can just show them. I thought for sure. I was okay, it's over. They're gonna show it's gonna end with the real footage and stuff. And then they started, and I was okay. Oh, and then it cut to the graininess, and they showed the guy who presented them the awards, and I thought, oh, okay, they finally cut to it. And then they cut back.
No, they cut back to Judy Greer and Jenna Fisher.
It was really weird. Did they not have any good footage of the awards?
Yeah, and
presentation?
the scene on the train is It's not horrible.
No.
But it's so anti.
Okay, well, that's the first of all. As I said, this movie's boring to the 100%, and the reason for that is so it is complete and almost in real life time, but the movie opens with this horrible, utterly pathetic voiceover of like, oh, this is my best friend Jim, and this is Kyle, and we've been friends for a while. Here's how it all started. It gets really
it's like them
bad.
driving in a car.
It's really bad. I knew as soon as that happened, I was like, oh no, like I sank in my seat a little bit. And
no, for me it took until the ADD scene.
It takes, it's like in timeline, but randomly they show maybe 30 seconds
not
of
even,
like...
not even, like 10 seconds.
10 seconds worth of like the stuff that happened
I think that's so people don't fall asleep.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm like, because if you didn't have that, it doesn't. Why can't you just show it all at the end? But it doesn't make any sense because there's nothing in this movie. So like, no matter where you put the train scene, it doesn't work. No matter where this movie's that boring,
no, you're right.
It doesn't work. If you would cut it, that would maybe the only thing.
This movie could have been a 5-minute short.
Yeah, it could have just been the train thing. It literally could have just been the train thing, and it probably would have been a decent short film. But because
that's the only thing that's like competently made.
It's so hard. There's literally, I'm not kidding, it's like 30 minutes worth of like boring tourism of Europe.
So stupid. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's so bad. It's like 30 full minutes. I'm not even kidding. 30
if
full
the
minutes.
actors had any sort of chemistry, like it would have made it not nearly as bad because it's like, oh, like they're having fun, whatever. But like, there's not. Oh my god.
And there's even like scenes that were maybe important to like their characters and their relationship that they didn't show.
Yeah,
and I was so weirded out by this. So okay,
no, you're totally
the
right.
trip when they go on the trip, it's originally two of the guys, and they're both in the one's in the army, one's in the Marines, I believe.
Yeah.
And they have a third friend who's just he's
just joining them.
So two of them start the trip, and they're gonna meet up with their third friend.
But it doesn't show them meet up with them.
It does not show them meet up. All of a sudden, they're like in a bar, and they're like, "Oh, wasn't this a good idea?" I'm like,
"Wait, what? You're supposed to go to Berlin to like pick him up because he was hanging out with his exchange student
or something." But they don't show them, and I'm like, "That's so important to their relationship. It doesn't make any sense not to show it."
And like midway through the movie, he's like texting his friend. He's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm joining the Marines." And also, this movie is really bad at like explaining the timeline of like how old they are.
Oh yeah, I had no idea how old these guys were. I had no clue because it was like they were like young
is this guy
kids.
supposed to be in high school because he looks like he's like 32 years old.
And then, but there was like, oh, they're in college.
I have no idea.
I don't know how old they are. Yeah,
and so he texts him and he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he's like, "Cool," and then it's like, whatever, like 30 minutes later, and it's like friends in the military too, and I'm like, wait, like we didn't even have a conversation about this. Like,
it's so funny.
I'm telling you, this movie like I literally had my like face in my arms for like half the movie because I could not believe how bad this movie. This is not an exaggeration. Like 50 Shades Freed is made 15 to 20 times better than this.
Yeah, you know how much I hated that.
You can't disagree. You cannot disagree.
I could have more. I would rather watch 50 Shades Freed than watch this. I could have fun.
It's not even just rather. Like, this is.
I could have more
so
fun.
bad.
I could at least have fun watching 50 Shades Freed, making fun of it. But this movie, it's.
Like, I want to put Clint Eastwood in, like, an old folks' home after this.
I'm scared
he's, like, senile. Like,
well,
I think he has completely forgot. He obviously has completely forgotten how to make a movie. Like I said, this is not even competently made. It's not just that it's boring. Like, this is pure and utter garbage. And it has zero redeeming qualities. It may sound like I'm being, but, like, I don't know that if I wanted to walk out of the theater so bad, like, because I'm a professional. I stayed.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, if I had paid a ticket and whatever, I would have left. Because I did not need to see the end.
I even walked out. I didn't realize this. I was talking to our younger brother, saw it too. Yes, there's a third Fansler. And he's like, oh yeah, and then they showed the actual footage at the end, like during the mid-credits or whatever. I was like, you guys stayed that long? Like, I left 20 seconds.
It just shows them on their parade in Sacramento.
So you saw that?
Yeah.
I literally left as soon as the lights didn't even come on. I was out of there. I was out of there.
Nice they did it. Mainly so I was waiting until everyone left the theater so I could call you and be like, what the
You
hell?
called me while you're in the theater?
Yeah, I was still in the movie theater.
I
was like, what the hell?
We usually have a short, 5-minute conversation before we film any of these. And I didn't realize you were in the theater when he called me.
I was just, then he was like, I can't hear you. And I'm like,
yeah.
come on, I'm gonna
He was cutting in and out, but I didn't realize because you were in the theater.
I was literally like so messy.
Wow.
No, I don't know. The only thing that I can think of is he was trying to make like United 93, but like far less interesting of the actual event is like, because like United 93, that is the full, like the event is the movie.
You can make 50 movies based on United. Yeah, and that whole 9/11,
it's so thrilling. It's amazing.
There's so much to tell. There's so many stories to tell in that event. But there's 3 guys. There's one story, and the actual event is maybe 30 seconds long.
And this isn't even an event that I remember hearing about.
No, I didn't hear about it. I had to look into it.
Because I was like,
I had to look into it.
Yeah,
maybe just because it happened in Europe.
Because this
it happened in Europe, yeah,
and nobody died. But that's
why it was so.
But they don't tell you that. I literally had to look it up.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that one guy gets shot, but you never find out from the movie.
I just assumed he didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because he shoots one round, and then I guess his gun jams. I had to look this up because it literally. I was like, oh wow, was this guy that incompetent that he only put one bullet in this AR-15? Because then I was even I'm like, oh my god, this just got even dumber. I don't know. It was just
Cameron's overwhelmed.
I don't know if I've ever hated a movie this much. I don't know if
I can't say
because even bad movies
are fun.
Bad movies are supposed and I've gone on oh, this is gonna be garbage. This trailer actually wasn't horrible.
The trailer's better than the movie.
Trailer is so much better than the movie.
The trailer? How long the trailer
that's
is?
That's why I hated this movie so much, is because, Cody saw it before me and he warned me that it was boring, but I'm like, okay.
I warned him because I know who he is. He works weird shifts. He works during the night. So I told him, I said, make sure you're awake going into this. That's all I said, because if I said, oh my gosh, it's flat out boring, I didn't thought that was
No, you did. You said it was boring.
But I said, just make sure you're awake going into this, because I knew he'd fall asleep if he was tired.
And, but I still was how utterly horrible this movie was a slap to the face. I'm still in shock. I just hated this movie more than words can say.
The movie's judging you. It's right behind you looking at you. No, he's gonna take that poster down.
I don't believe in giving a movie a 0. I give it
He's the one.
I don't even know.
That.
This is too. I don't even. This might even be too high.
I
have a 0.6.
I have, just so you guys know, I have never seen him like this ever.
I don't know. Even if it's a bad movie, I'm like, oh, they put effort into it. I'm like, no, this is just
cash grab.
The biggest garbage I've ever seen. The biggest pile of garbage.
Because you can tell, again, the script. There's no way that at least 50 times while this movie was being made, and the whole process from writing to editing to
fails on every level. It fails on every.
There's no way that not a single person that was making this at one point said, "Should we be making this? Or is this a?"
They had to know it was horrible. They had to know. It was so bad. And Thomas Lennon, and we didn't even say Thomas Lennon, Tony Hale.
This is the one part. Yeah. This movie, it makes it even worse. For some reason, they roped 5 great comedy sitcom stars.
Jaleel White is in
this. And so every time they came up, that was the only thing keeping me awake. Every time they came up, I'm like, oh yeah, Family Matters is funny.
I feel bad for these people because their prospects must be so bad, that they had to take this movie.
It was Jaleel White from Family Matters. We had Tony Hale and Judy Greer from Arrested Development. We had Jenna Fisher from The Office and Thomas Lennon from Reno 911. All those are funny, great shows.
funny, and these are funny, good actors, and like that's what I'm like.
Why
They had to know that the script is so bad. It wasn't even just the direction. The script is so bad. They had to have known. That's why I felt bad for them, because I was like, wow, their like job prospects must be that bad that they had to take this movie in order to get money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
So,
poor Judy Greer. Like, when the hell is she gonna get the respect she deserves? All right, I'm sorry.
So what?
This video is gonna be way too long, but I just had to get it all out there.
We warned you it was going to be a rant. So you had 0.6. Are you changing that?
No, I'll just leave it. But like, that's being generous.
I didn't hate this movie as much. It is again one of the most
You
boring.
don't
movies.
disagree with me on that.
No, I don't disagree with you though. It was just one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's a real life event, and that's the only thing that's maybe
like,
getting
these
to that
guys
point.
deserve better than this.
These guys are heroes. These guys
yeah.
are absolute heroes. They saved a lot of lives, and it's a shame that the only thing I'm going to think about when I hear about this event is this movie, and that's a shame. I have a 3.7. It's.
You're being so generous.
I'm being really generous, but
So
again, it's
generous.
just so boring, and it's so boring.
So 2.2. Do not go, avoid this movie at all costs.
Yeah.
Do not go see it. The
Yeah.
trailer looks tempting. Just don't
see it.
don't see it.
I usually give a reason to see a movie.
I can't think of any reason anybody would like this movie.
No.
Even my mom and dad were like,
Maybe if you're
like,
related to one of the three guys that were in this,
oh, I would hate it even more because
you'd probably like. I wonder what
They
the
deserve
guys.
better than
I want to
this.
know what the
They
guys think of
deserve
this.
better than
I want to
this.
know what the actual three guys think of this movie. Sorry for the rant. I apologize for him. We will go through these every once in a while. This is a bump.
The wound is still fresh.
This is a bump in the road. Hopefully, we got Black Panther and Early Man coming out, and hopefully both of those will reignite our spirits, and we will be talking, hopefully praising both of those.
It was a rough weekend.
Fingers crossed. Rough weekend.
Rough weekend.
But we're past it. We can only get better after this, hopefully. So, like, comment, subscribe, please. We'd love
Maybe
if
you did
subscribe.
like it. If you did, I want to know why. Please
Yeah.
tell me why.
Comment in the bottom. We want to hear everything you think about this movie.
I'll disagree with you. I just want to know.
But yeah, so if you subscribe, awesome. We hope you do. We got a lot of stuff coming out soon. We're going to start hopefully doing more content besides reviews coming up soon here as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed us ranting this week. Other than that, adios. Have a good
Bye.
one. See ya.